What do we say here? I'm leaving social media on February 4th, 2024. That will be the last day for the foreseeable future that I ever log into social media as far as I can see. And as I sit here and talk about this, I feel like I'm in like confessional. I feel like I am trying to break up with somebody. I feel like I am in recovery from addiction and having to make a claim at sobriety. And to some extent, this is kind of all of those things because this is about a relationship that I've had with a thing for 15 years of my life now, which is crazy to think about. But I've been on social media for 15 years and I'm starting to see that it's time to not do that anymore and not be on these platforms for several reasons. And it does kind of feel like I'm coming clean a little bit and trying to start a new season of life and break away from things that I feel like aren't healthy for me. So this is my attempt to do that and to be honest about that. As I sit here and talk, I don't want to be, I don't know, I don't want to be seen as some kind of patron saint or self-centered hero or any of those kind of things. This is genuinely just the way that I feel, and I feel like it's time for a change. I think it's time for something new. And so this is my attempt to do that and to share that with the world so that maybe somebody else that's dealing with the same things and feels like, oh, I feel like I need to leave social media or social media isn't good for my health or my mental health. This is kind of me just coming clean about all of that and hopefully giving you the courage, if you want to leave, to do the same. So I'm going to be honest, I am kind of nervous about all of this, but I know that it's the right thing to do. I know that social media isn't good for me. I know that it's kind of destroyed a lot of good things in my life, and I want those good things back. And so I know it's going to be hard and it's going to be difficult, but that's how life is. The most difficult things in life are hardest to do sometimes. And so that's what I'm going to do because I know it's the right thing to do. This has been a decision that I've been thinking about for a very long time. It's something that I have contemplated for years now. I've tried to do long extended breaks from social media. I've done it and my life was better when I did it, but for some reason I kept coming back because I felt like I needed to. But now I know that it's time to, for the foreseeable future, probably forever, cut it clean and not come back. I started using social media in 2009, back when MySpace and Facebook were all the rage, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. I was an 8th grade kid who saw the internet as a place you could go to have fun and explore. And it felt like back then social media was about connecting with friends and less about sharing pieces of content. And there wasn't a lot of pressure. It was just kind of like, come hang out, do your thing, and then that's it. It was like more about things like what was on your profile, how you could code and hack things to make your profile look cool, who was on your top friends list. Those were the biggest problems that we had, and it was simple, and I enjoyed it. And as a kid in middle school, it was fun, and I loved it. It was simple, and it was yet like exciting and new and fresh, and it just doesn't feel that way anymore, because now I'm 15 years removed from that kid who was naive to the power of technology and the internet, and I've spent a lot of my life playing the game that social media feeds us and offers us, that you can be special and famous and you can do all these cool things. It's weird because I've spent just as much of my life on social media as I have off of it now. And I feel like two totally different people. It feels like two halves of my life. And now that I see who I was before and who I am now that I've been on social media, I don't feel like I'm willing to give any more of my life away to be that second person. I want to go back to the person that I was before I ever got on social media. So obviously there's a lot of like personal things that I feel like contributed to this decision. Um, One of those being my need to feel important. I feel like that's been a big push of who I am for such a long time. Wanting to be known, wanting to make people think I was cool, to be validated in who I was and the things that I made and the good that I brought to the world, and just feeling like I was good enough. Um, I've always struggled with that. That's always been something that I feel like has been in the back of my mind that I've had to fight. And I think I tried to use social media to fill that hole for a while and say, oh, well, if I get this many likes, or if this many people share this, or if this many people connect with it, it means that I'm good enough and that the things that I'm making are valuable. And I don't know. I just kind of feel like I'm waking up to a reality that on the internet, there's no such thing as like enough. And it's just this endless race to nowhere. And I'm just kind of tired of playing that game, honestly. I want to live a simple life. I want to step away from whatever spotlight I think that I have and just be a real person again, because I feel like I've lost that. When I was thinking about finally pulling the plug and leaving social media, I made a list of 15 reasons why I'm leaving social media and never coming back. And it's funny, I came up with 15 reasons, and that counts one for every year that I was on social media. So I'm going to read those, and then we'll kind of dive into each of them after each one. So 15 reasons why I'm leaving social media forever, and that's one for every year that I've been on social media. Number one, it makes me feel like garbage. Why do I keep going back to a place that makes me feel terrible? I don't know, but I don't want to do it anymore. Number two, it's not worth the time or energy that I put into it. I've spent countless hours of my life creating content that has gone nowhere, and even if it went somewhere, I go back to point number one, it still makes me feel like garbage. So I'm tired of wasting my time and energy on something that doesn't give me back anything good in return. Which leads me to number three. Social media gives nothing back in return for the attention that I give it. I have given hours and hours of my life away for something that does not fill any kind of void in any kind of way. In fact, it makes the void larger and deeper and less fun, less good. There's still a hole every single time, and it does not care about me. Number four, I am losing touch with what it means to be human, and I think we all are. By giving ourselves away to technology and social media, I want to know what it's like to be human again. And that sounds so weird to say, but I mean that. Like, I just want to feel like a human again. I don't want to feel like a piece of content. I don't want to feel like I'm at the mercy of other people for validation. I just want to be me and try to figure out what that means again, and to be myself, and to be a good father and a good husband and a good person. And I can't do that and continue to live online and do that well. So I'm not doing it anymore. Number five, social media is a game that you can't win. And for a long time, I tried to fight that and I tried to find a way to win, but it's not a game that I can win. And instead of trying to play a game that I can't win, I've decided that I'm just going to forfeit. Why do I keep playing a game that I can't win or a game that doesn't give anything in return for my efforts. So I'm quitting the game. I'm giving it up. Instead of trying to make new rules that fit my parameters or to play by the rules that tell me what I should and shouldn't do, or to play by rules just to keep up, I'm tired of that. I don't want to play the game anymore, so I'm quitting. Number 6, it hinders my ability to be a fully present father and husband. I don't like giving my attention away. I don't like wasting my life, and I don't like that I'm missing vital parts of my life, my kids' life, my wife's life, my students' lives, all of these people's lives. Social media makes me a worse husband, a worse father, a worse teacher, a worse friend, and overall a worse person, and I don't want to do that anymore. Number 7, I am tired of living in a constant state of validation seeking only to be let down every single time. No matter how good the stuff that I make is, the content that I put out, the things that I share with the world, there will always be a hole and a nagging sense that it was never enough. And I don't want to do that anymore. I'm tired of feeling like I'm only good if I make things and if people connect with them. I am so much more than that. And a life outside of the internet will allow me to live in a state where I don't have to seek validation in order to feel like I am enough. Number 8, the truth is that I have no obligation to social media whatsoever. It is something that I have chosen to be a part of, and therefore it is something that I can willingly choose to walk away from at any time, and that's what I'm doing. I am not tied to this platform, these platforms, this place. This is something that I've chosen to do for fun, and obviously it's not fun anymore, so I have the freedom to walk away. Number 9, I don't need it to be me. I don't need it to be creative, to make things, to share ideas, or do any of the other things that I feel like make me who I am. I can live a life outside of social media and still be myself. And honestly, I'll probably find myself outside of this place. I don't like feeling like I have to have social media in order to be myself. And so I'm getting rid of it to actually try and find myself in the real world. Number 10, if I'm going to waste my time on something, I'd like to waste it on something that doesn't leave me feeling empty or begging for more. And like I've said, there's no such thing as enough on the internet, and it will always leave me feeling emptier than before. So I'm going to waste my time on other things like reading books and going outside and building Legos with my kids and spending time with my wife and sitting outside and doing nothing, or doing something that's productive and leaves me feeling better than it did before. Number 11, social media has left me feeling detached from the kind of life that I actually want to live. It has fed me a narrative that I need to stay and stick around in order to see what's just around the corner in order to find a better life, and it's absolute bullcrap, and I'm tired of believing that. The kind of life that I actually want to live is one where I am fulfilled and happy and healthy, and the road that social media will lead me down will not take me to those places. So I'm not going there. Number 12, I know that the goodness of my life is not dependent upon my presence online. Instead, it is dependent upon my actual presence in the lives of the people that I love. I am tired of trying to be some kind of social media, internet presence for people that don't care about me. I need to be present in the lives of the people who love me and actually give a crap about my life. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and be more present in the lives of my kids and my wife and the people that I love, because they deserve it. Number 13, I have taken breaks from social media before, and when I did, I was happier and healthier. Point blank, I know that my life is better outside of social media. Therefore, I need to pull the plug and quit playing the game and get off of here. Number 14, I came to the realization that the things that I create and the stuff that I make does not necessarily work within the parameters that these platforms offer. And so instead of trying to change the rules or the parameters to work for the kind of person that I am and the kind of things that I create, I'm going to step away and find new avenues and new ways to create that are actually more aligned with who I am. Number 15, I have decided that I want to leave, and maybe that should be enough of a reason in and of itself. Point blank, I want to get off of here. I'm tired of it, and I don't want to do this anymore. And so I'm choosing to have some self-advocacy and say, I'm going to do what I want to do, and that's get off of here. So those are the 15 reasons why I'm leaving social media. And if they aren't good enough, sorry, they're good enough for me. There's like 1,000 more, but we don't have to go into all of those because they'll come up eventually. All right, now we need to talk about the other side of things, because I would be remiss to say that social media is all bad. And I know that it works for some people. There's been so much good that's come from this place and these places and the internet in general. I've made so many connections through social media with people that I never would have met before. Some awesome friendships have come from social media. I've learned about some of my favorite artists and bands and creators, poets, and other kinds of creative people through these platforms. As I essentially met my wife on social media, and without Instagram DMs and other things like that, I would have never met my wife, which is literally the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. So I'm not going to be stupid and ignorant and sit here and be like, social media is all bad and everything about it is terrible. No, it can be a really great place. And I think it at one point had potential to be an incredible place, but it's just not going in that direction anymore. And I kind of came to this conclusion. I think it boils down to this. Things work until they just don't work anymore. And when things don't work for us, we can make the choice to either work through it until we can make it work for us again, or we can let it go and find something else worth working on. Social media just does not work for me anymore. And at least for the foreseeable future, I don't see it ever working again. So I'm not going to try and make it work anymore because it just doesn't. I'm going to find new ways to make things work for me and find avenues and places that I can discover myself again and be myself and create in ways that are healthy and express myself and be a better human along the way. I think that I am scared of not missing out because I know that the people that love me and care about me will always be there. And if I lose people along the way of this journey of stepping away from being present to them online, that's okay. I think that I fear, if I'm being honest, I fear being forgotten more than anything. And that sounds really sappy and self-centered, but I don't know how else to say it. I want to be remembered. I want people to remember me in the right ways. And I don't want to be forgotten. I don't think anybody does at the end of the day. So I hope that you don't forget. I'm grateful for every single person who willingly chooses to keep up with what I'm doing in my life and the things that I make. I don't want to lose touch with those people. And I pray that the same is true for those of you who do keep up with me. But this is not the place to do that anymore. So what do we do from here? If you want to keep in touch, you can follow me on Substack. You can look for me at substack.com, at sundaystudies.substack.com. That's where I'm going to be posting all of my stuff. making things and putting it out there in the world for people who want to see it and be a part of it. And yeah, that's basically it. So you can join the email newsletter. You can ask for my phone number and we can still be friends. You can send me an email. You can call me if you need to talk. Ask for my address and we can be pen pals. Whatever you want to do to keep in touch. I would love to stay in touch with you. This is so funny because it just feels like I'm saying goodbye to a friend or something. Like somebody's dying or something and I'm having to say goodbye. But I think that's kind of what it is. This is the death of a season of my life, and I am excited for what's on the other side of it. And I appreciate everything that I've learned along the way, the person that I've become, but I'm not ready to stay this same person. I'm ready to grow and to become somebody new. And I'm not going to be a good person if I stay on social media. I'm not going to be the best version of myself or the kind of person that my wife needs me to be, or my kids need me to be, or my friends need me to be, or my students need me to be. I need to do this for myself and the people that I love. And so I'm getting off of here and I'm not coming back. And it's been fun and I've enjoyed my time, but it's time to go. And yeah, that's it. So text me, call me, email me, pen pal me, write me a letter, send me a pigeon carrier, whatever. I still want to keep in touch. Follow me on Substack. That's where I'm going to be making stuff. And if not, I'll see you out there in the real world. Is this the Truman Show? Are the cameras going to come in? This literally feels like the end of the Truman Show. And I'm like, and if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And I need to just walk out the door. So, this is the end. Thanks for the memories. Peace. See you in the real world.